Fox News alert, the death toll rises to 16 across L.A. County, and those returning home find their possessions left in ruins.
And one California family is going viral, singing in prayer after finding the only thing left standing on their property, a statue of the Virgin Mary.
Regina Caeli, laetare, alleluia, laetare, alleluia, via veneruis immortale.
Jackie and Peter Halpin, the owners of that Altadena property, join us now. So describe for us what it was like when you went back to your property, everything is gone, and what you find is that beautiful statue.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start, but I need to warn you that it's very emotional for us, so we may break down in tears while we're doing this interview.
We'll probably be there with you.
First of all, let me say my bride and I are lifelong friends from junior high, and we grew up in the little town of South Pasadena, just south of Altadena. So we've been here all our lives. My wife, there's a picture of our home before it burned down. My wife, she was concerned about going up there because she didn't think she could do it. But it was healing for us to get onto our property. And what happened there, we were so lucky. We had to sneak up there, I'm sorry to say. We had to break the law to get back to our property. But all our children who live in the area were able to join us there, our adult children. And all those adult children combined, we have 14 grandchildren and one on the way. But when we got up there, we all just stood around, and it was remarkable that how everything had gotten fried, but the statue of the Virgin Mary and another statue of St. Joseph were in perfect condition. Obviously, they were a little singed. And we just took that opportunity to pray. Our home is dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and always has been, and all my family members, my extended family. So we said a prayer to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and then we sang that special song that our entire family has known for decades.
That's when I thought we have to get up there. We have to thank God for the years that we'd had there. So that was my intention. We're gonna pray. We're gonna thank God that we're safe. And we have entertained a lot for years. We've welcomed, we feel very strongly in the virtue of hospitality. So I just wanted to pray and say, if we can do it again, that would be great. And then the song kind of came about on its own. So I just wanted to pray. I just want to be grateful as much as I can for what we've had.
How many children do you have?
Six, three boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
14 grandchildren. What a moment. Thank you so much for sharing that. You didn't intend to go viral, but I think you've done a lot by sharing it with us and everyone else in the world.
Yes, indeed.
That's exactly right.
The whole country is praying for you. God bless you both.
Oh, thank you so much.
That means so much.
It's just like I knew it can be done. I mean, I'm not stupid. I did not want to come here to die for possessions, but I knew it was doable, and I'll feel bad if I didn't try, you know? 11:25 p.m. I'm a Christian. I don't go to church, but I really believe that God helped here. God helped me. I mean, I promised a big candle when I go back to Greece, and we do that.
25 years I've been here. Easy, 25. Gone. Less than 3 hours.
When you look out at your neighborhood, what happened here?
It just looked like a war zone here. This is a war zone. Looked just like a war zone.
I saw the fire at 2 o'clock. I took a picture, and at 4 o'clock my phone went off and it says evacuate, evacuate. And that's what we did. There's nothing left. I literally just have the clothes on my back. It's nothing. Things that my grandmother gave me, my granddaughter, she's always making me something, and I put it in a frame, you know. I don't have those no more.
Yvette said that this guy's house was touched by God.
It had to be, because it sure didn't burn.
A fire that's already taken out the Palisades.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? You know, we've all had a really big lesson.
What is it?
In that our experience of reality can change in a moment. You know, and that's something that we just have to let God handle. You know, I think there's a spiritual awakening on the other side of this, because it's going to make us all a little wiser and more compassionate.
You know, you brought up something about, you know, we've talked a lot of the people in the entertainment business live in this area, agents and directors and actors such as yourself. There will be a moment, Dennis, where Hollywood is going to need to respond, to rebuild this area and to come together. This is going to be, you know, a clarion call for you and for your community, for Hollywood to step up.
I'm looking at the chimney of somebody that I loved, who died there.
Somebody who died in that home?
Yeah, it just makes it it's too awful to talk about. It's just kind of unimaginable, and so I reached out to Chef and just said, I think the key is Save the Children is getting up and running here in LA to help kids in shelters and to help with social emotional, and to make sure that to work with hand in hand with the Red Cross to make sure that shelters are set up for little babies and moms and kids and fathers, and while we get set up, it's just like you need to do something with your hands, and so I took advantage a little bit of celebrity privilege and called Chef and said, please, can I come with you? I can think of 7 schools that are gone without even turning my head. Just my friends' kids are just, what are they going to, when, and what will it be like? So I just want to, you just want to be part of something that's helping. I've always felt really, really lucky to be here, and we still do, because we're still part of the community. You know, a church is not the building or the steeple or the preschool or the Sunday school, or the church is the people, and the same as the community. We're gonna have to co-create what this is going to be from here, and we are going to have to be God's hands in trying to serve each other and serve our community.
It is utterly devastating. It really is, to see so many great memories and homes and families and small businesses lose their livelihood.
Where are is everybody from the Palisades going? I know there was a community center that was open as a shelter. Are people going to other friends and neighbors?
Yeah, a lot of people are, in the Santa Monica area, all over within Los Angeles County. People have lots of friends, and, so everyone's going to different homes. But there are churches that are open, there's community centers, and it's being posted on our local news everywhere. And social media has been a really wonderful tool, because this community really rallies together. That's why it's such a special place, especially in the pocket of Los Angeles. The Palisades means so much to families, and within that community, we help, we rally, we genuinely like each other and love each other, and that's going to be the beautiful thing to see in days and weeks and months and years to come, is how this community is going to pull together and support one another.
But Candace, when we look at these images from the Palisades, we are talking about rebuilding from nothing.
I know. I know, and the crazy thing I keep thinking about is that the fire insurance here, there are many homes and businesses that don't even have it because the claims have been denied for fire insurance because it's such a highly destructive place in that way. And so I don't even know the realities of rebuilding for a lot of people if they don't have fire insurance and what that's going to look like. So it is quite devastating.
Where are you right now? And I mean, I'm looking out the window over your shoulder. It looks like a sunny day. And I've heard some people say, like in some parts of LA, it feels like a normal, beautiful Southern California day. And then you'll go 2 blocks and be engulfed in this thick smoke.
Yeah. Well, right over my shoulder, I mean, you can see that the mountain is on fire. And I'm in the Century City area right now. So I've been watching for the last 24 hours the city just burn. And you see at times where the flames are really, really large. And then it will die a little bit and then come back and come forward. But it really feels like hell on earth. I'm going to be honest with you, to see the destruction and the flames and everything burning. It's just been horrific.
Yeah. The images are horrific. The stories are horrific.
Crazy it is that they spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Zip. And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great.
Mm-hmm.
And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state.
And in 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
Mel Gibson and Joe Rogan talking about the states. I think Mel Gibson left. Oh, actually, all his stuff burned. So now he's going to make a decision whether he wants to get out of there. It's devastating. Over 10,000 structures, so many homes, lives, neighborhoods just gone. And you say to yourself, well, there's some things called natural disasters. You got Sandy, nobody's fault, but were you ready? Then you have hurricanes hit North Carolina in the mountains, unprecedented. It's no one's fault, but are you ready? I don't think that governor did a great job, especially compared to the governor in Florida, Governor DeSantis. Does anybody think that Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass were ready? We find out about these huge water tanks. They say the first water tank was out in a few hours. The second one out by the end of the day. The third one was out by the next day. And by Thursday, there was no water in Pacific Palisades for firefighters to even open up the hydrants, so they stopped. Please don't tell me that you had a plan.
But like this morning, for example, I would be surprised if my home is still there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. The Palisades is on fire.
Yeah.
My friend Tom Segura, his house is gone.
Yeah.
It was where he used to live. He sold it, luckily.
Yeah, I have a son. He's in the sort of volunteer fire brigade, Milo. I call him the mayor of Malibu. And he's running around. And I asked him, how's things looking there, Milo? He says, not good, Pops. He says, your neighborhood. And he sent me a video of my neighborhood, and it's in flames. It looks like an inferno.
By and large, everything was just, it looked, when I got there the other day, I went up there yesterday, it looked like Dresden, after Bomber Harris got through with it. Yeah.
Mel,
so nothing left.
For those of us watching this from afar, try to convey to us the feeling of seeing your home, your neighbors' homes, and the community there at such a loss.
I mean, it's tragic. It makes you really sad. I was actually, there are neighbors I have that I was actually looking at them. I felt worse for them than I did for myself. I look at it as a strange mixture of sadness and almost kind of an elation in a sense that I count my blessings, no matter what. These are things, and they may or may not be replaceable, but they're only things, and we're still here, and I just kind of look at it as almost in a weird kind of way a purification but of course it's very sad.
We'll say a lot of things about these fires. Obviously the winds were horrific. but they were predicted. I know you know that last weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they said this could be tragic with these winds if any fire starts.
Sure.
Do you believe in what you know so far,
the Santa Ana.
anything could have happened like this?
Yeah, well, one always suspects that this might happen, but one thinks that the resources, and the capabilities of the men and women will be on standby, that they'll be able to cope with any situation that comes up. But apparently, some people were asleep on the job, mainly our leaders there. But, that's something they have to live with. And but that's something that community has to live with. And it's really sad. I mean, I have many friends that are, looking for a place to put a roof over their heads. Someone should answer for it, but we'll see. I think we know who the culprits are. In fact, my son he's a member of the volunteer fire brigade. He sort of interfaces between LA County Fire and people, and they assist them where they can during, before, and after the blaze. And apparently the residents in Corral Canyon caught an arsonist up there. And the guy was all tooled up with fire gear and equipment and stuff like that and ready to go. And he had been lighting fires. But they corralled the guy in Corral Canyon and gave him to the police. So
yeah, apparently
there are people actively going around looking for these conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, Mel, that individual was never charged. It's a very confusing set of facts because apparently he was reportedly trying to light things on fire, but it's not the fires, I guess, that they're... I mean, it all seems very bizarre, but they have not ruled out that arson could have started the first fire. There's obviously still investigating this, and at the same time, Mel, there are numerous complaints, as you alluded to, that the fire hydrants did not have water or water pressure, and the LA fire chief herself reacted. Watch this.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
Mel, reaction to that?
Well, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs. And obviously there's a great need for high-density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks. And you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single-family homes, hello high-density housing.
Yeah. It's it's pretty scary.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Hollywood Hills was reached as far as the fires go.
Yo, LA is literally on fire. I'm driving home because somebody said the Hollywood Hills were on fire, and you can literally see the freaking fire in the Hollywood Hills. Like, this is right now in LA.
Here's what's crazy, you guys. We heard about a lot of different things when it comes to these different fires, but I want to read something that Elon actually retweeted from Trump talking about Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water. First of all, for those who don't know, there's many hydrants that aren't working. How'd that happen? Put before him that would allow millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I'll demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is to blame. He is the blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants. Not firefighter planes, a true disaster. Here's what's crazy, you guys. A lot of times firefighters get their water from fire hydrants, right? They go from the fire hydrants, gets in the water hose, it sprays the fire. A lot of water is used. Look at this video right here where firefighters are using women's purses to pour on fire.
What in the world? The firemen don't have hoses, so they're like literally using purses? Women's handbags? Filling up women's handbags to put out fires. Look at this. What in the world? LAFD fire department using women's handbags to put out fires. What is going on here? Have you guys ever seen this in your life?
Guys, if that ain't a movie, please somebody tell me that's off. Please. I'd love to hear it. My neighbor saw a small fire start at 535 above our house in Hollywood Hills on the Runyon Canyon hiking trail. I asked him what he thought of it in the moment. Arson, there's no power lines up there. Someone started it intentionally. There's different fires starting different places. How? Now let me show you a video that's actually going kind of viral, showing something coming from the sky down. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, what is that? What is that? A whole movie. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The Palisades, right? Maui. Houses all torn down, but the trees still happen to be intact. Looks very familiar. Super familiar. And we couldn't understand what was going on there either. We were like, what in the world is really happening? So you have different houses, and the winds in January, listen to me, when I tell you the winds are crazy, I mean they crazy.